have healed, half reached, half awake, or have surrendered. You may have accepted a smaller version of yourself because it felt safer. You may have settled into survival and called it wisdom. You may have stopped expecting certain things to change because disappointment trained you to lower your eyes. But I did not make a decision to preserve your fear. I made a decision to bring you into the fullness of what I have been patiently preparing. Do you remember how I spoke through the prophet and said that I know the plans I have for my people, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give a future and a hope? That was not the voice of a careless father making vague statements. That was my heart speaking into uncertainty, reminding my children that even when they could not see the road, I had not lost the map. You need to hear that again, not as a verse placed on a wall, but as my living word over the place where your confidence has been shaken. I know the plans I have for you. You do not always know them. You do not always feel them. You do not always understand why I take the route I take. But I know, and my knowing is part of your safety. You have spent too much energy trying to find certainty in things that were never meant to carry the full weight of your identity. Approval can encourage you, but it cannot name you. Opportunity can bless you, but it cannot define you. A relationship can support you, but it cannot become the foundation of your worth. Even your own progress can give you hope, but it cannot be the deepest proof that I am with you, because some of my greatest work happens before visible progress appears. When you make temporary evidence the judge of eternal truth, your peace will rise and fall too easily. I'm teaching you to live from something deeper. My decision about you stands above the voices that tried to decide your value without understanding your story. Some people saw only one season and thought they knew your whole life. Some saw your quietness and called it weakness. Some saw your struggle and called it failure. Some benefited from your kindness and then questioned your strength when you began to set boundaries. I saw more. I saw the cost behind your endurance. I saw the prayers you prayed when no one praised you for continuing. I saw the restraint you practiced when you could have answered harshly. I saw the grief you carried while still trying to be faithful in small things. I saw what others missed because they were looking for a version of you that served their expectations. You must understand this. Human judgment can be loud without being accurate. A person may speak confidently about you and still be wrong. A situation may appear closed and still not have the final word. A mistake may be real and still not be your identity. I am not asking you to pretend nothing happened. I am not asking you to deny where you need growth. I am asking you to stop giving final authority to voices that do not have final knowledge. They do not know the measure of grace I placed over your life. They do not know the private work I have been doing in your heart. They do not know the future I am preparing you to walk into. My decision about you is not canceled by the fact that you are still in process. A seed is not rejected because it is underground. Clay is not worthless because it is still on the wheel. A child learning to walk is not disowned because their steps are unsteady. I know your process from the inside. I know which parts of you are rebellion, which parts are fear, which parts are wounds, which parts are immaturity, and which parts are exhaustion. I deal with each one differently because I love you wisely. I will confront what must be confronted, but I will not crush what is already bruised. I will discipline you as my child, not discard you as my enemy. That distinction matters more than you realize. The enemy wants you to believe that every correction from me is proof that I am against you. He wants you to confuse conviction with condemnation, so that instead of returning to me, you hide from me. But my word says there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Conviction draws you toward life. Condemnation tries to bury you under shame. Conviction says, "Come closer, let me heal this." Condemnation says, stay away, you are too far gone. Learn the difference, my child, because much of your freedom will begin when you stop running from the very voice that is trying to restore you.